what's up, everyone? Today is Friday. I don't even know what day, August 8th or something like that. We're going to talk about our third algorithmic lie that we've been told. So we've already talked a little bit about how your worth is directly tied to what you put out. And I forget what the second one is right now. But today we're going to be talking about the third algorithmic lie, which is that this is it. Things aren't going to get better. No one's coming to save you, and the only option you have is to cloister yourself off and look out for yourself, get stronger, hoard more resources for you, and that's just it. Feel nothing. This is one of those lies that is appealing at first because you think, no one is coming to save me. I'm on my own. Then of course I have to work on doing what I can to get stronger. So that feeds into a lot of the increased reading, increased exercising, all great things, but it can lead to burnout. It closes you off emotionally, and it can also close you off to community if you're only worrying about you and yours. You forget about your neighbor, and community and our neighbors are what are going to make things better and save us. So I think one of the fundamental confusions there, especially when it hits guys like us, is the big S versus little s stoicism. So a lot of what popular culture talks about right now is what I like, I didn't coin it. I'm about to sound like Peggy Hill, what I call small s stoicism. But that is that archetype of the guy from like the movies in the 40s and 50s who don't feel anything. They're just cold, calculating, and emotionless. Um, a lot of guys integrate that and think that they're not allowed to feel feelings or weakness, whether it's sadness, joy, anger, anything. And when the media talks about stoicism, a lot of it is that smallest stoicism. But really, when we're talking about the school of stoicism, big S, we're talking about philosophers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. Who was the other big one? The Roman. Why can't I think of his name? Seneca. There we go. Seneca. Those are the tenets of the big S stoicism, which is, focus on what you can control and leave the rest up to, nature. Notice that, whatever can happen to good people and bad people equally are neither good or bad. What makes it good or bad is the label you put on it. So in the big S Stoic philosophy, you still feel the things you feel, but you realize you have a choice in a lot of that, and you can take those feelings and integrate it into lessons, often turning, the obstacle is the way. Whatever's preventing you from doing it is actually fuel to keep you going. And it actually helps fight that isolation aspect that keeps us alone and ineffectual. One of the things that Marcus Aurelius says is that we men are, meant to work together like the upper and lower rows of the teeth. He uses that in his book to, his book. It was his diary. He didn't know anyone would actually be reading it but him. Uh, but to emphasize the fact that, it's not good to hold grudges against people and isolate yourself and cut up each other off, because we're meant for cooperation. We're a gregarious animal. Um, and that the individual tooth on its own is pretty much useless. It's the teeth together that allow for chewing, but not only chewing but biting. Um, that's what makes it dangerous too, is that sense of community. Uh, so I guess the takeaway from this one is, don't wall yourself off. Let yourself feel what you feel, and then give yourself that space to feel it, sit with it, and then act. Don't act out of emotion. Don't tamp emotion down, because it's going to come out the side exit. Homework this week is going to be reach out to somebody ideally in person, but whether it's a phone call, someone, ask them for either help with something you're struggling with, or if you know that somebody is struggling, reach out to them, talk to them about it, and see how you can help. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop them below. I'm still doing, strength questions as well if you have any training things, but we've got 2 more weeks of this series, and then we'll pivot to something else. But let me know what you think, ask your questions, and we'll catch you next week.